Alright, so we are going to get into lab, what is it, 5 and 6, okay? So 5 is, we're gonna do the 2D objects, of course. There was one student asking me, like which one do I need to use. Make sure you browse the template and get either AutoCAD, this is AutoCAD, GWT, or you can also use the tutorial I, okay, because this is already set at inches, whichever one you want it, okay. So I'm just gonna go back to here to the model space for you, and of course this lab we're gonna start with a line, okay. And of course, a line is right here, showing you very slowly. The line is right there, L-I-N-E. You can also call line from here, L-I-N-E, or L-I will show up, L-I-N-E, command line right there for you, okay? See this? And every time you hover it, you will get an instruction how to use it. See this little green number and the cross mark is showing you the points. So every time you see the point. So with line, you can create a series of contiguous line segments. So these are the line segments. Of course, if I go away, then it goes away. So anyway, so each segment is a line object, that can be edited separately, of course. Every time you need the help, so all you have to do is just press F1 and it's going to come up in that command, okay. So right now I'm just going to click a line in my command line, so the first thing is you're gonna have to give the first point, of course, of course. What you can do is you can either click or type in the coordinates. Since we haven't learned the coordinates, we will cover that when we come to the coordinates, okay. So right now we're just going to, of course, stay in the click okay command for now. Then we will get into the coordinates later. So right now I'm just gonna draw a line, okay, like this. So see like how it is going 360 degree around, that you can be able to stop. So if you want to place your line this way, then go ahead and place it, okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drop it here. So at the end, your cursor, see like the second segment follows your cursor. You don't need it, and all you have to do is just escape it, and it will cut neatly for you. Okay, so that's how you draw the line. Or you can, of course, type in the coordinates. Alright, then another way is your coordinate. It's really easy, okay. So we call the line command, and see like how you go, and of course your tracking is showing you where you exact. So if I want to put it here around, let's say estimate 11, 6, I go like 11, and then I jump with comma. If you jump, it's locked, your first input, and then I'm just gonna give it 6, okay, and then enter. So here your first point has already been done. Your second point, you can either go 26 degree down or 31 degree down, okay, or you can say like 90 degree or 0 degree straight, okay, like that. So you can be able to see there's a 3.77 going to 6. So that's a distance, from the first point to the second. So if I want to go, let's say like 15 degree around, relatively 15 degree that I want to go, okay, about a 7 distance, I'm just going to, like click OK, and it will go. Of course, you can cut the line with the escape. Okay, so that's how you input the coordinate. Alright, the very first thing when we learn different, of course, enter the home tab and a different geometry under draw panel here. The next one after line is your polyline. Yeah, so polyline, you can click right here. So you can draw, like, see, like 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dots. So these are 3 points. And then, of course, 2 segments of the lines, meaning you can be able to draw, yeah, multiple segments of a line with polyline command. The command for polyline, you type in PLINE, and it's going to show you the same thing that you see right over there, enter home tab. See, you can be able to draw, of course, easily. Yeah, so a rectangle, okay, with a kind of like a little inverted L shape, okay, right there for you. Then you can draw like that, okay. So let's just start with the clickable one, yeah, with the polyline, and we click in, and now we are in P line mode. Okay, so if you start to click, it will go. Okay, so Alright, so sorry I went outside for a while because somebody calling me. Alright, so you click the polyline, okay, and it will go into the mode. So when you get the polyline, you have to do the same thing. Yeah, either you can enter the coordinates or you can be able to click it. Yeah. And of course, if you want to go, yeah, this direction, you can go direction. They're not very accurate, by the way, because you are clicking. Okay, so you get only relative, all right, size of it. See that? Because if you want to close it, just go C and then, you know, enter, and it will close it. But then see, like, it's not 90-degree to each other. Yeah, so of course we will learn how to input the accurate dimension, okay, later. Right now, try to understand, yeah, how to use P-line command, because you are at the beginning of the learning AutoCAD. So here is the P line. You can click on it. It will ask you, specify, yeah, a start point. You can go, I want to start at the 13, okay, comma, of course, 4 around there, and then you enter it. Now you have your arc half, okay, half width, and then the length, and then undo, and then width. Okay, see that down there in the line, yeah. So if you just go with a W and then enter, it's going to ask you what is the width that you want to, okay, you want to do, you know. So you can give like, oh, I'm just going to go 4, yeah. See that? It's just going, yeah. And that is just you're choosing the width, yeah, right. Of course, now you have identified the length is width, and you can start clicking. Yeah. So if you go like 3 points and you finish it, you go C and close it. Yeah, it will going to give it to you like that. Yeah. So I just go ahead and click like 1, 2, 3 points. Yeah. Instead of getting a black background, I got the little bit of, see, white background in there. Yeah, so there are many ways to handle the lines, and try to play with that. Okay, so right now we touch up with the command line and then polyline, okay? And of course, now we will go into different function that you can do with the polyline. So let's just write what I want you to do is, after you finish the first exercise, okay, give me a PDF, all right, a printout of this. So you're gonna have your first is going to be like this, and then of course go ahead and print that. Yeah, after you print this one, if you forget about it, you go right here. Yeah, you can either print or you can export it. Yeah, so export it into PDF and maybe name it like lab what is it, lab 5, I think. Yeah, so lab 5 on print 1, PRINT, and then 1, and go back to the model space. So now I am just going to erase it because I don't need it anymore. Okay, so I'm just gonna either undo or you can delete the whole thing. Yeah, so that's up to you. Because I just want to have some space here. Of course, so we will get back into the polyline. All right, we're gonna draw the 2 polyline segments, and then we're gonna draw an arc by clicking arc or typing A at the command line. Yeah. All right. Next exercise is to use just a regular P-line without the width. So after you have done the P-line with the width, make sure you clear the polyline, okay, with the width. So if you ever did the width what you're gonna do is, it won't go back to the regular line like this. Yeah, so I'm just gonna click on it here. Yeah, so it won't go back to the regular line like this, and it will create the width of the line because we gave it 4, yeah, last time. So if you get into the width mode, make sure you go back into the width mode and then give it, enter, W, enter, 0, enter, 0, enter. We'll get back to the 0, okay? Otherwise, it's gonna stay fat, okay? So if you ever like change your width to, I was showing you how to change the width to 4, okay? So if you do like that, it will go. See, look at this. The width is now 4 wherever you want to go like that. Yeah. So in order for you to do that, yeah, you're gonna have to go back to the polyline. Yeah. And then of course you click on the canvas to give it a point, okay? And then go back to the W, enter, 0, enter, 0, enter. Yeah, so that will get you back to the regular polyline. Yeah, so I see many students because we, of course, we show you, how to make it. Of course, we show you how to go back, yeah, with, and of course your 0 width line like this. This is line with 0 width. That is also a line because I only click it one. Yeah, we use it, the polyline with a width of 4, okay, and that's because we wanna streamline the drawing to make it really fast. Okay, but of course when you become a professional you can be able to do that. Right now just stick with the line with 0. Okay, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete, yeah, this whole thing. All right, the next exercise is to draw two polylines. So we are just gonna get into the polyline here, and I'm just gonna draw it two polyline. It doesn't say any kind of dimension, so we will draw two polylines like that. Yeah. So once you get this, we can go into the arc mode by clicking A and then enter. So you will get to the arc type like this. Yeah. So we type the A at the command line. So we can be able to draw the arc segment by giving up a point, okay, as the end, all right, the end point of one of the polyline segments. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And then of course the arc endpoint as the endpoint of the other, yeah, polyline, which is this guy right there. So once you can finish it, escape out of it, so you get a shape like this. Okay, so we have a two, of course, a polyline segments without any dimension, and then we start to make an arc like this, yeah, and then we go from here to here, yeah. And that is without going outside of the polyline command. Yeah, you can, of course, in your textbook, they want you to do differently. Yeah, so you go right there and then draw two polyline and then escape it, so you have two polyline. And then we want to draw an arc. Yeah, so you are going to go in here and then put a 3-point segment arc. Yeah. So if you want to draw the arc like this, and of course we are going to draw like this. Yeah, so whichever way that you want to do, it's a-okay. So I did the 3-point segment arc from the first point all the way to the other point like this. Yeah, you can also do the arc in the polyline like that. So that's up to you. All right, so I want you to go ahead and practice, with polyline, and then do polyline and the arc, whichever way that you wanted to do. All right, just use a 3-point for now. Okay, of course once you finish it, click this little button. All right, and it's gonna give you another layout. Yeah, see that? You can of course name it if you want to, so you remember like this is a P line. Okay, and of course arc practice. Yeah, the very first one we did just the very first one we of course is erased. Yeah, right now the very first one we already exported out of it, because we draw the very first line in the P line command that we practice. This is your second print. So you go ahead and of course export it to PDF. I usually put it in my I'm just going to go to the AutoCAD. Okay, labs right there, and we are of course on the lab 5 here. So make sure you save it there. So here I have a P line and arc. Okay, practice. Yeah. All right. So this is on demand. Yeah. So if you click on it, it will screenshot what you just draw there. Yeah. Okay. Then of course I'm just gonna go ahead and erase all of this. I select all of that, and of course delete and erase it. I'll show you again. So some student you scan it, yeah, and right click, yeah, because I forget to show you. I'm like so accustomed to doing, and then right click and you get the erase. Yes, I'm just cleaning the canvas so we can do the next exercise. Of course, when you end the command, yeah, you can either enter, or sometimes spacebar works. You can try with your own computer. Sometimes magically, I don't know why it doesn't work. Yeah, it happens sometimes because we're using so you can go, yes, I'm not getting into them. So anyway, so you can go drawing, yeah, like this. Of course, if you want to close it, just go C, yeah, and then make sure you either enter or the space bar will do it for you. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and erase this. Yeah. The next we will do the rectangle. So your rectangle is right there, little drop down. So make sure every time you see this little drop down like that, make sure open it to see what you have. Yeah, they're all different. So they go by the geometry. So you will always see the point. See, so that's the center point, and of course the radius is the distance. So it knows how to draw, and then it has a center, and then of course a diameter. Yeah, that's the length that you have to give. So 2 point, of course 3 point, tangent, tangent, radius, tangent, tangent, and tangent. Yeah. So here also make sure you do the drop down. Yeah. So I have a polygon, a rectangle. Right now we are practicing the rectangle. So we'll just click the home tab, draw panel, go to rectangle. Okay, and then we chose rectangle, and then we're just gonna go ahead and draw, all right, a 6-unit rectangle right there. And so it'll give you a perfect rectangle. Another way you can do is your command line. Of course, the command for the rectangle is RE, okay, REC, and then of course TANG, and you never have to type that much. Yeah, it will just definitely show up. Yeah. And then of course it's going to ask you, go ahead and give me the first point. Okay, you can either give the area, dimension, or the rotation. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and give the dimension. So right now I want to draw 7, yeah, instead of 6 like previous on rectangle. So I draw a dimension 7, yeah, for that, because I go straight in and punch in the number without typing in here on the command line, because I want to save the time. Yeah, so this is your second, and you are going to do the same thing. Yeah, click on this, yeah, layout, and it's going to give you a perfect rectangle like that. So make sure you go ahead and print that out. Yeah, so you go there, and then of course export it, okay, into PDF. And then of course I put it in the lab. I think I accidentally put the very first, yeah, the very first on PDF on my desktop. So just put it in your lab 5. So this one is REC, okay. Of course, we're just putting the command line here, TNG. So you're practicing all your command like that, yeah. So of course we are going to just delete. You don't need to do it, it will be automatically pop up here anyway. I'm just so accustomed to make a new screenshot to make sure that I get what I want to print. Okay, and then do the same thing to, you know, erase it, and of course close this because you already finished PDF. Of course, the next thing we are going to do the polygon. So polygon is in the same place. You go to the home tab and then go to the draw panel, and then you are going to see this drop down and go to the polygon. Yeah. So if you click on it, you would go into the polygon mode, and you can see it in the command line. It is telling you the polygon mode. So enter the number of sides. Of course, if you want to go like 6, yeah, you want to do the hexagon, you go like 6, okay? And of course, you're going to have to enter the number of the sites, so we enter it, yeah? And then of course, they're going to ask you, specify the center, yeah? So you go like, I'm just going to specify the center, yeah? And we go C, of course, center of the line, or you click, yeah, on it. So you would get the polygon like this. Yeah. So we enter the C to specify a polygon circumscribe about a circle, because you can be able to like choose either inscribe or the circumscribe. So I chose the very first one. Yeah. Alright, so for me, in the textbook, they want you to do the C, but here I do the very first one, which is your inscribe. It means like the circle is inside or the outside. So after you finish it, you're going to have to specify the radius, and here we're just going to specify the radius, let's just say 4, and then of course enter it, and you got a little big, okay? So I'm just going to zoom out of it here so you can see it. Yeah. Of course, I chose 4. You can choose 2 if you want to make it smaller. Yeah. And then of course, once you finish it, yeah, you can close it. Yeah. Right now I already entered it, so there you have your polygon. Yeah. All right. Once you finish this, all you have to do is see, like here, see the latest print is a rectangle, and that's why I click on the second little plus button here to get second layout to get my polygon. Yeah, so I am just going to go ahead and delete this. So that's from the previous. So now go ahead and print your polygon. So I'm just going to go ahead and export it so it's faster for me. So I go like polygon, yes. And of course, your polygon command is called POL, and then Y, and then GON. Yeah, POLYGON is your polygon. So here I finish my polygon command. Yeah, you can also go the polygon with POLY, okay, and then of course a G. Okay, it's going to give you this. Yeah, and we go back into, and this time let's just do like 8. Yeah. And of course, it's going to ask you, give me the center. So I'm just going to give the center. It's going to ask you either inscribe or C. And this time, let's do the C. Okay. So now I'm just going to go ahead and draw my polygon. Yeah, by clicking on it. And it will give you the 8-sided polygon. Yeah. Of course, you can make another layout here. Yeah. So here you can export it. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and export it, and I will save on top of the polygon that way. So I have 2 polygon right in there. One is with the command, and the other one of course is with the command, and the other one is by clicking on the home tab and show you either inscribe, or the other one is a circumscribe. Yeah, in the polygon. All right, once you finish it, go ahead and erase it, delete it. All right, the next command is your circle. So your command is circle, and you'll go to home tab, and you will go to your draw panel here, and of course here is your circle. Yeah, and we will choose the center and the radius circle. So at the specific center point for circle, what you're going to do is you're going to click in the drawing area to pick a point. Yeah, this is just taking the center point of your circle. So right now we want to draw 5. Yeah, so we have to just 5. Of course, you can be able to get your radius. Yeah, 5. So your diameter is going to be 10 because I'm going to make it a little bit small so it goes into the or you can use your little hand right there and pull it. Okay, so that way you can get the circle at the center right there. The next one is, of course, you can practice, center with a two circle with those 2 points. You can do that. So you can go circle, and it will give you the circle here. I type in straight in and showing you how to do it. Of course, you can also repeat. If you don't want to call by the command, you can also repeat it by enter. Enter on your keyboard, and it will give you the last command. It's gonna pop right back up. I will show you later. Of course, any you here. Let's do a 2p. So 2p. So we will just go 2p because I want to do the 2-point circle. So it's gonna ask you, like give me the first endpoint. So you click, I'm gonna, like go from this point and then give me the second point. So we're doing a 2p circle right there, and click it. So there are many ways to draw a circle, and you can follow. So I show you center radius and 2 point. You can do the rest of them, when you have the time. So now I show you how to get back into the previous command. All you do is enter and it will go back to the circle. So if you want to do a 3p, then you type in 3p, and then it's gonna ask you, like give me 3 points, and you can be able to give that. Alright, so once you finish it, screenshot your circles and then do the same thing, of course, print it. Here I export it, and I'm just gonna write it. This is CIRCLE is your command, so that way you kind of get the command at one time. So pressing and trying to memorize the command. So once you finish it, just go ahead and of course delete it and close this PDF. Just want to remind you to use the dynamic inputs. So dynamic inputs is it's right here that you can be able to call it, and also you can be able to call from this command line. So right now I'm just going to show you from the menu because it's easier for you to see. So I think I already show you in interface. See like how this little plus with the rectangle, see blue next to the grid line. See there's a model and then the grid, and here that's a dynamic input. So dynamic input is good because you can be able to type in anything you wanted. So of course, if you have like a dynamic input, you can also enter circle or the letter C like this. So now your dynamic input is completely on. So all you have to do is just type in, okay, of course, click on this here. All you have to do is just type on C, and it's going to show up right there instead of going to the command line here. So that saves you it streamlines your work, okay? That saves you time. So when you have to draw a lot, that you're thinking about how in the world to increase your efficiency. So of course you can be able to draw the circle like that. Okay, so that is with the dynamic input. So here again, you go circle, you type in the letter C, because the student want to go exactly the same as in the instruction, so I have to show you how to do this. And of course, you can just click on the down arrow key, okay, like that. To be able to choose. Okay, so sometimes of course we can also go into the circle, like that. And then if you choose down arrow key at the centers, circle, of course the circle mode, it will ask you, see this? So 3p, of course, a 2p, and then tangent, and you can be able to choose. Of course, when we do in the dynamic mode, it usually shows like 3p, 2p, like that. So if you go like 2p, then you can choose enter, yeah, and then I give it a 2 point right there for you. Yeah, and of course you can do that so again and again. Yeah, see, and you can click on it, and then of course you can be able to choose any one you want it. Yeah, once you finish it, just click ESC and it's going to be gone again. Yeah. So this is a dynamic input and I really don't need you to print this. So you don't have to print this circle. We already got one circle. Alright, go ahead and erase this. Alright, erase. Make sure you save your drawing. Yeah, sometimes I forget to do that. So what I do is just go to the lab of 5 right now, and I'm just going to save it like 5 and then save. Okay. Alright, so the next exercise is to draw 2 lines with an arc. Yeah. So all you do is just start your line and click F8 for ortho. So if I click F8, you can see this. See, if I click F8, you can see the ortho mode is off, yeah, and on. On mean blue little one. So make sure you get the blue, yeah, ortho mode on because I want my line to be 90 degrees straight. Yeah. So of course, let's click on the line, and then I am on auto mode, so I know that, see, the perfect 90 degree is there. Yeah. So if your auto mode is off, your shortcut is F8 in your keyboard. See, now auto mode is off. So if you do the auto mode off, your line is, see, like it's really difficult to find the 90 degree. It came out like very weird. Yeah. So that way, I'm just going to erase this. So make sure you click on F8, yeah, if you want a perfect, of course, line. Okay, and then of course I'm just going to go ahead and draw the line, but it doesn't give me the dimension. Yeah, it's just draw 2 lines. Yeah, and then of course I can go, you know, like above 4, you know, like to the next line like that. Okay, and then of course I'm going to go up. All right. If I want like a perfect 4, yeah, I'm just gonna cut it here, and then I will go another line, okay, from here, and then go perfect 4, okay, like this. Yeah, so I'm just going to cut it here, and then of course I will draw, yeah, the next line like this. Yeah, so right now you only need the 2 lines, so you can be able to, you know, like select it, control, and then select, okay, another one right here, okay, or you can be able to just click on it. Okay, so anyways, just, yeah, don't click control, just go, it was a different version, so 2026 version, you click on this 2 line, okay, and then of course you erase that. Yeah, so now you have a perfect, of course, horizontal and vertical alignment. Yeah, so once you finish it, of course, if you want to turn off the auto mode, you click like F, all right, 8, and it will just go back to the normal mode. Okay, so now we have 2 lines and we have to put the arc on it. Alright, the next one, you have to put an arc on it. So we'll just take the 3-point arc right there. The very first point is, of course, here, yeah, the top of the first line. The second point, we're just going to give it at the, you know, estimated center, and then the third one, we are just going to close it. Yeah. So if you want to adjust the height of it, you can pull it, yeah, whichever way that you want it to go. Okay, if you come to this side, it will flip. Yeah, so make sure don't go, of course, beyond this middle, yeah, line. So just I'm just going to click it here, yeah, to give a nice little arc right there. Yeah. So here, this is what they want you to do. Of course, if you just want to have same as your, you know, like your textbook, and then all you have to do is just put it down this way. Okay. So do escape ESC and we'll give you that. Yeah. Yeah, so after you finish this, and you will give me a screenshot of that, yeah, which is this. So that is 2 lines, of course, your arc practice. So lines with an arc, you will export it to PDF, yeah, and then do lines, L-I-N-E, as lanes, okay, with an ARC, arc, and then of course save it. Yeah, so right now I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to delete one of them. I only want the last one here. Yeah. Alright, so in lab 5 we cover arc. ARC, okay, is your ARC, okay, is going to be your arc, and it will create an arc. The next command is the circle, CIRCLE. Yeah, it's going to create a circle. And then of course you definitely need to know line. Yeah, so line is your command. And we did the polyline, PLINE. Some people call it pline, but it's the polyline. And of course, the next one is your poly, and then gon, okay, polygon. And then of course, we did the rectangle, so RECTANG. All right. All right. So these are all the commands that we did in this lab 5. Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna close this print notification, yeah, and then I will erase this thing because I don't need it. Yeah. Now let's save as. Okay, so go here and save as lab 5. We finish it, so I am going to change it to lab 6. Yeah, and of course I'm gonna just put it into lab 6. Okay, so I will go 1 level up, and then I'm going to make lab 6. Okay, so I don't want to put it in the lab 5, so I will put lab 6 drawing into lab 6. Okay. Alright, in lab 6 we're going to touch up the coordinate entry, your polar tracking, locking the angles of our direct distance entry, your object snouts, and then of course your grid snouts. Of course, in your textbook, it's gonna ask you to go ahead and use the AutoCAD template, but it's okay. Like you can use the AutoCAD template on a DAW to just make sure that you check your units. Yeah, so your unit is here. See this? Yep. So you can be able to see the unit. It's got to be in a decimal. Yeah. And of course, I saw that one person was on the fractional and the scientific. Yeah, that has nothing to do with the inches. Inches is a different thing. So if you call the unit, it will get to the unit. Yeah. And here, the decimal is we just want the decimal, and of course we wanted 3 decimal. If you want to use a AutoCAD template, make sure you change it to 3. And then of course make sure you give me the inches, because we want to of course put it into the American customary US customary unit, which is American units. But I just use a ready-made template here for the manufacturing inches template, but whichever way that you want to do is okay. Yeah, so now let me go ahead and clean up my former layout here. Yeah. All right, so that's a template selection. So right now I'm just I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to use my template here. It's already in inches anyway. Yeah. So of course, we will start with a line, but this time you're going to learn the accurate input of the line instead of just clicking on the canvas and draw a line. Okay. Alright, so first thing I am going to just move my UCS on this side, because my UCS is at the end. You can also take this and then move it, but right now I'm just going to show you, alright, just by move with the hand for now. Yeah. So move your axis around there, and then of course we will get into the line mode. Okay. So when you get to the line, you just type in straight in, so you go like pound, and then of course so we go -2, and we jump, okay, comma, and then we go 1. So that just identify like we want to go -2, 1 coordinate, respect to this X and Y coordinate. Okay, so that we have right here. So once you input it, of course your line is gonna come up right above your Y, of course here coordinate axis right there. Okay, so Of course, we have to choose the next line, the next point to end it. And we are doing a precision, drawing. So the next one is a 3, what was it? 3, 4. So make sure you type 3, 4. Yeah, so here is your line, okay? And that is exactly minus 2, 1. And then the second point here is exactly at 3, 4, okay? All right. Okay, so I already taught you, the absolute and relative. We're doing the absolute coordinate by using the little pound, okay, pound symbol. So every time you use the pound symbol, you know that we're in the absolute, okay, coordinate. Of course, the formal name for the absolute, even though we commonly say absolute and relative like that, of course, your common name for the mathematics is called the Cartesian, coordinate, because it locates an absolute point measured from two perpendicular lines, your x and y. So if you want to do like 5, 3, then you can just use a little coding, and because your application needs code to be able to understand what you want to do. So the coding, you're going to start with the little pound sign, and that is your Cartesian coordinates, okay? Cartesian coordinate, we've just drawn the negative 2, 1 and 3, 4 line. Yeah, so if somebody give you the line in the, of course, the certification exam, they're going to ask you to draw a line, blah blah blah, coordinate, you're going to do this and draw. Yeah, you shouldn't have any kind of issue to do that. Okay, of course, you can zoom it all, if you want to zoom it all. It will show you the line itself right there, and I like to just manually adjust, okay, like this, okay. Of course, if you want to go by, we just go and then zoom out of it. It go back to what it was before. All right, and then show me the evidence that you actually get it by clicking plus on here. So this one is we already used this last time, so click delete, and then now we have a line. Okay, so make sure you print this out. And then of course export it and go to lab, of course, 6. We're in lab 6, and then write a Cartesian, say RTESIAN coordinates. Cartesian coordinates. So you have just practiced the Cartesian coordinates right there for you. And of course, I come back here on this site. All right, so the next one, what they want you to do is relative. So we're going to do a relative Cartesian coordinate. So we did the absolute Cartesian, and then of course a relative Cartesian. So let's see, how we do that. So relative Cartesian coordinates, we're gonna put another line. So click on the line, and first we are going to start from the absolute, okay, coordinate 2, 1 this time. So you do pound and then 2, 1. So here is your first point, and we don't want to, we don't want to measure from the 0. So 0 is this guy. So if you go over a pound, your measurement will go from this. Okay, so right now you want to measure from the first point 2, 1. So it means like a relative, Cartesian coordinate that we want to do. So how do we do that? We will just use a code is add mark, so it understands. So your application understand. Oh, we want to do relative, and we want this 2, 1 as a reference point. So my reference point is not this. And of course I go 5, 3, from there. So now it's going to give me escape out of it, so you will get the line. So this is different. So this point is measured from here, that point is also measured from here, and this point we also measure from there, because we use a pound sign. As soon as you use a little add mark sign, it means that you're measuring from this point. So your 0 is here now, not there anymore. Yeah, so that is your relative Cartesian coordinate, how we measure the distances of these lines. Yeah, so right now take a screenshot of that. Okay, so you will get something like this, and of course go ahead and export it. Okay, and here you will write down the relative Cartesian, okay, coordinates, and then save it. Okay, so you did the absolute, and then of course the next one is the relative Cartesian coordinates. All right, and once you finish it, okay, go ahead and scan it, and then of course erase it. All right, the next is we are going to get into polar coordinates using the angles. Yes, so we just use points, and in points we have two. One is absolute Cartesian, the other one is a relative Cartesian, but they're all points and we never use the angle. But polar coordinates, when we draw, we use the angle. Yeah, we turn with the angles. So you have 0 all the way to here, 180, and 180 all the way back to here, 360. So altogether, one circle is 360 degree, yeah, in that measurement, of course. Okay, so I erase the line, like because after printing out the stuff here, yeah, make sure like if you erase it right now, we need it back. Yes, if you already erased it, all you have to do is just go back here, yeah, and then of course it will give you back here. Yes, retrieve what you have drawn, because you need this, yeah, to compare the next exercise line with the previous exercise lines. So I'm just going to move it here to that side to adjust with my eyesight. Okay, now we will get back into the line again, and this time we're going to learn how to do the polar coordinates. So we will give a point, okay, start with the absolute, so pound, and then 6 jump, okay, comma is jump, and then 1, and then enter it. Okay, and this time we're going to go about 30 degree and then 5 unit. Yeah, so we put in at mark and then 5, of course, and do little less than sign in your keyboard, which looks like that, less than, and then I want to go 30 degree instead of 30 degree actually. So let's go 30 degree instead of 14 degree, and then you enter and then escape. Yeah, so now we have just drawn the third line, yeah, which is parallel to the next line. So that's a 6 1, and then of course 5 less than 3 is in there. Yeah, so go ahead and of course get another shot. Yeah, so that with this shot is not very good because it's cut out, so I'm just gonna delete it here. And I did the third shot, which is this. Yeah, you can of course click on it many times, so that way you get a perfect shot like that. I'm just gonna delete this. These are just a snapshot of your moments. Now I will export that. Okay, and I will name it a polar coordinates. So polar coordinates exercise that we did, and put it in there. Yeah, so now you know what is the absolute coordinate, okay, Cartesian, and then relative Cartesian. Now you know the polar coordinate, how to play with the angles, how to enter. So for absolute and relative, we do pound and then at mark. Of course, for polar, we have to put the third one, okay, which is your angle. So we jump by typing comma. Of course, for the angle, you do the angle sign. Your angle sign is a little, let me show you, okay? Let me show you. So the angle sign is this, okay? So we use the pound sign for absolute, and then of course the at mark, okay, for relative, and for polar we use this. Comma is jump from one input to another. Okay, so these are all the code that you need to do to control this. Okay, to control this, I should just put it here for a while to control this. Okay, application. All right. Of course, you can continue, okay, here with this drawing, or you can just create a new drawing. Yeah, so from this, I'm just going to draw it in here. Since I already saved it, I select 6, okay. All right, so the next one, we will go back into the line again. Yeah, so when you click on the line, make sure you click it so it actually go into the line mode. So the line mode will show you in the command line, specify the first point. Okay, of course you're gonna specify any point you want. Yeah, and of course this time we're gonna do the direct. Yeah, distance entry. So here we're gonna do about 4. Yeah, so that's the distance that we want to do. Yeah, and of course, so don't forget to click on the canvas before you type in 4. Yeah, so it will give you that. Okay, one moment, I forget to type in. Okay, so you go line because I forget to type, and then of course you specify the first point. Yeah, and then of course you are going to type in 4. Yeah, so now you can cut this. Yeah, little cursor movement, so you can be able to get this line. Yeah, which is a 4 distance. Of course, away from each other, you have a two points in a line. So your line is made of 2. Okay, the initial point, of course, you have gazillion of point here. Yeah, a series of point on the line, and the end point is here, and the start point is there. So your start point, and then we draw a series of lines, a series of points to make a line, and then the last point is here. And the distance, of course, from the first point to the last point is 4 units. Okay, so 4 inches that we just made. So that is called the direct entry, which is your direct distance entry. So of course, go ahead and practice again and again. Yeah, with a different. First, you click on it, and then if you want to go, like I want to go 8, yeah, distance. You click on it, yeah, and it will do it for you automatically. Yeah. And of course, if you do want a very straight line, you're going to click on F8, yeah, and then it will definitely give you, let's say I want to go distance 9, it will give you a perfect, yeah, 180-degree line like that for you, instead of a little bit of an angle that you have here. F8 is your auto mode, which is this line right there, yeah. Now I'm just going to go back out of the F8 by clicking this, and it will turn off, yeah. Right, so the next one is we're going to learn how to turn. Yeah, so we will go back into the line mode and click on the canvas. Yeah, now we will put an angle. So angle is a less than sign and then 45. Yeah, so it means that I am turning 45. Yeah, now we have to define how far you want to go. You want to go 3 units. So type in 3 and then enter, and it will give you a 3-unit line. Yeah, of course you can do it as many times you want it. So we will first identify the point, we will identify the angle, so let's do another 45. Okay, enter, and then we will identify the length. This time I want to go 8. Okay, so here you see a little bit, of course, longer, okay, line that is parallel to the first line that I drew. So this is 3, and that is of course 8. Okay, so then we will get into the orthogonal lines. We call that the orthogonal, in which I have already shown you a little bit. Okay, so before we do that, go ahead and I'll print this out. Yeah, so what you're gonna do is put a little plus sign, click on it. It is going to give you all the lines, and go and save it, of course. Export it. If you don't like the grid, clear it. And those are going to be your angular line, okay, and of course direct distance entry. Yeah, so we will do direct distance and the angular. Yeah, angular line is going to be what we want to save it. Okay, so now I can just delete this because I don't did. Now I'm going to leave my last screenshot there, and then of course I can be able to, oh yeah, I'm just in a wrong mode. Okay, I can be able to delete this. Okay, erase that. Now we're ready, yeah, ready to go on to the next. Of course, don't forget to save it if you want to save your drawing. I like to just draw, and because I don't need it anyway, so I just draw and then show you how to do it, okay? Because we can close the notification and put this coordinates, back to where it was before. Okay, so this time, what we're gonna do is the next exercise, which is your orthogonal, orthogonal lines. So we will just go back to our line, of course, and then you can just give it a point in the drawing area, okay? And of course, and then of course we want to go, okay, 2.5, okay? We have to do ortho, which is your F8, okay? So make sure you turn on your ortho by clicking F8. And we want to go about like a 2.5, yeah, and in there. And I just enter 2.5, so your line segment is 2.5 units vertically straight up, because of the ortho mode is on. Of course, and then you're gonna drag, your cursor to the right because I want to go another 2.5 to the right. So I just input another 2.5 to the right, okay? And of course, you want to go a little more, so you want to, yes, what you want to do is we want to, go a little more, to this side, but this time you want to get rid of the auto mode. So go ahead and turn off the auto mode by clicking on the F8, okay? So now your auto mode is completely off. Of course, what do we want to do? All you have to just drag the cursor up a little bit and then to the right. So up and then to the right, And then of course you're gonna enter 2.5, again, and in there, So you just draw 3 segments of the line that way, and then of course you can either enter or escape it, So whichever way, or spacebar on to close it, to end it, okay? So you're gonna get a shape like that, okay? So of course you can make it a little bit bigger so you can see clearly. Once you finish it, take a screenshot of that by clicking a new layer right there. So let me go back into here. Yes, click it into the new layout, and then of course you're gonna get this drawing. Alright, so go ahead and save it and export it. I am training you how to print PDF, okay? So just write down auto, okay? Auto line is fine. Or you can, if you want to type it the whole thing, orthogonal, LINES, and then of course save it. Okay, so I'm just going to delete. I don't like many files floating, so I usually leave only my last screenshot right there. And of course that is your ortho, and your shortcut is F8. If you want to go all the way down to turn that on here, of course you can see ortho is right there, and it has a fancy name. The fancy name is restrict. Cursor orthogonally is off. If you click F8, it is on. And then of course see this little F8, on and off right there for you. Alright, so the next one is to make angular lines, with polar tracking, and let's see how we can create that quickly. So before that, let me just go ahead and get rid of this. I'm gonna erase it. Of course, you're gonna have to turn on F10 this time. So if you have F10 in your in your keyboard, just turn on and you will see this little, see that, and that is your restrict cursor to the specified angle. You can be able to turn on or off. So we call that polar tracking, of course, F10. So you learn F8 and then F10. It is pretty easy for you to be able to use it. Okay, so right now just go ahead and turn on. the restrict cursor to specify angle, we just do F10 for that. Yeah, so you will see the highlighted blue little icon right there with a circle, with 2 lines, so 2 radius, of course. And then, of course, on the status line, you can also see, the angles. So if you want to see all the angles and the polar tracking here, all you have to just click on this and you're going to see the tracking. So your tracking settings, you can go over there. So right now we're at the 90, 90, 180, 270, and 360 is your default. Okay, it's just right there. So this time we're going to choose a different one. So let's just choose a 45, 45, 135, 180 increment. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our line again. Yeah, so click on the line. We're learning all the lines, how to use it. Of course, we're not set at a 45, 90, 135, and 180. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and click on a point on that canvas. Yeah, and I'm just gonna go straight up. Yeah, it will just give it to me. I'm gonna go according to your book 1.5. So after I've gone 1.5, I'm going to drag it in that angle. You don't have to worry about it. It will definitely give you 45 degree because we already preset it. This time, of course, you are going to cut it 3.25 for the distance. And enter. So of course, click on the space bar to cut it off. So now we understand how to use the polar tracking here with F10. And then of course how to choose the angle so you don't have to type in. Now I'm just going to go back to 90, 180, 270, and 360. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my polar tracking F10 by clicking onto it. So once you finish it, take a screenshot of it, and you will get your perfect line and give me a export. And you're doing it 1,000 times, so you know how to do this PDF printout, with no issue at all, please. Okay, so right now we will do angular lines with the polar. So polar, P-O-L-A-R-A, and then T-R-A-C-K-I-N-G. Tracking, and please save it. Okay, so now you can delete this. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. How to get it perfect print out, teaching you 1,000 times, so you should be able to get it by now. Alright, so let's turn off this notification, and then of course you can delete this, erase it. Then we will go into object snap. So object snap is very, very, of course, useful things that we use in drawing. So what you do is we always come to the object snap, here, and check, what we have here. Sorry, what am I clicking? Click on the wrong icon. So anyway, so your object snap is here. I went to the 3D. So here, object snap. So you have your endpoint, midpoint, and then of course your center. Here. Of course, these are like for your quadrants of circles or arcs or ellipses, of course. And then your center are your center points for your circle, arcs, or ellipses. Of course, we also have like node, quadrant, intersection. The object intersections. You can do the location where intersections. We can be able to choose by using this object snap. Your quadrant here is of course your circle, arcs, and ellipses again. Your tangent. Right here, we use it all the time. That's a point on a circle or arc. That when connected to the last point, they're gonna form a line tangent to the object. Your perpendicular is here. Insertion is here. Nearest. Of course, so we always use this endpoint. Okay, midpoint, center, quadrant is always there. So another way that you can do, if you want to be in the mode, so if you're like, let's say line mode, and you can just hold down the shift key, okay, and then of course right click. You can hold down the shift key and then right click and and you will see, another menu pop out like this. See that? Your object snap is going to be from here, of course, all the way to here. instead of going over here, you can be able to do that. In the level 1, we usually train you by going here and actually see which one is turned on and which one is not. Yeah, so right now I'm just going to escape out of it. So shift, hold down the shift and then right click will give it to you. Yeah, the next one is to go into the settings, of course. So if you go the D settings, yeah, if you call the D setting, it will take you, yeah, when you go see the snap and the grid polar object snap, see this, the object snap menu that you can be able to get from here, you can be able to access from here as well. Yeah, so I'm just right now you have your endpoint and centers are turned on object snap. Yeah, so that's many ways to get to the settings. So let's do a little bit of exercise to see, how this command works. I'm just go ahead and continue with the drawing sheet that I'm using, okay? Because I already printed, so my drawings are already up there. Of course, for you, like you might want to just use the hand and move like this way if you want to show me all of your DWG file. Okay, yes. Let me just escape out of it. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, okay, is to make sure that your 2D reference point is completely on, which is this guy right there. And that shouldn't be off like this, okay? If it is off, you're gonna have an issue, can't find all the points. So make sure you turn that on. It's got to be highlighted blue, okay, right here. And of course, on the ribbon, we're going to go into Home tab, and then Draw Panel is going to be here, and you will click Drop Down Menu, okay, of your circle. And this time, we are going to choose a center, okay, radius circle like that. All right. Of course, you're gonna adjust any point on the drawing area, yeah. And of course, we are going to draw just a little circle 1 inch. Just all you have to just press enter, and you will get a little circle of 1 inch radius is going to be there for you. Okay, so we are going to draw a second circle, of course, yeah. So second circle we will draw in on top of that, previously drawn circle. So what you're going to do is you can enter to go back to the circle command to draw the second circle, yeah. And of course, to make sure that the center is on, yeah, you can like go inside of it, yeah. So what you're going to do is in order for us to draw, yeah, the second circle, you're gonna just want to check your object snap is on. So hold down your shift key, okay, and then right click it. Yeah, hold on your shift key and then right click it, of course. So if you hold down the shift key and right click it, you can be able to see your object snap menu is going to come up, and we will choose a center, out of that. So go ahead and choose a center, and right now you can be able to choose the little center, and it's going to pop out with a little tiny circle, and it's going to give you a little green circle at the center of the first circle. So we will of course choose it, and then of course we will give 2, okay, is the radius, and draw the second circle on top of the first circle, So that is, of course, your 2 circles, and we make sure that we have the object now center is on, yeah. So right now we're going to go and do another one, yes. And before we go, you will go back to the object snap and see, yeah, your center point is already turned on, and let's go and turn on the intersection, and then of course you can also turn on the extension, okay. So you have endpoint center, intersection, and then of course the extension points are all on, okay. All right, so once you finish it, you can come back, to the drawing area. Okay, you can also go, of course, if you want to go and check, object snap setting, and it's going to take you back to the drafting, setting right there, And you can also, if you want to start from the very scratch, we can clear everything out like that, And of course, we would choose a tangent, okay, and then we're going to choose the intersection. Yeah, only two. We deleted the endpoint, center, intersection, and then the extension. Yeah, so we are now tangent and the intersections are on, and then press OK. Yeah. This time we are going to put a little tangent, yeah, to the circle. So I'm just going to bring my circle to the center of it, and then I'm gonna escape out of my hand, yeah, and I'll call another line, okay, like that, okay. So once you get the line, yeah, this time let's do a little, okay, point, okay. So after you get the line, yeah, you're gonna be asked like, oh, give me the first point. So you will move that cursor to the edge of the inner circle, yeah, and then click when you see the default tangent auto snap marker. So we go there and then we look for it, okay. And when you go there, of course, we can be able to see this little, see this green, yeah, see this little green thing, yeah, and you can be able to see that, yeah, we just move the cursor to the edge of the inner circle. Yes, see that? And then click when you see this. Yeah, so let's just click on it. And right now, let's do add, okay, and then 3, okay, and then of course we will call our angle. Yeah, so call the angle which is a less than, and then of course we will go 45-degree angle. Yeah, so make sure you enter that. Okay, once you enter that, you will get a line, okay, at that, of course, so 3 less than 45, yeah, angle has been drawn there for you, so you can either space out of it or escape out of it or enter, yeah. Okay, so now we finished this. So let's get back to the line command by enter. So let's just enter so you don't have to go over there to click it. Yeah. So cutting the time. So now we get back to the line command and we're going to draw a second line, of course. Yeah. So it's asking you, give me the first point. So you will move your cursor slowly to the intersection of the line and then the outer circle. Yeah. So we find the intersection with the little cross. See, little cross green, little cross right there. Yeah. So, and then we're going to click, okay, when you see the intersection, just click on it. And then of course this time we will do add mark 3 and then less than, we will turn 315 degree, okay. So after we turn it, of course, we can be able to cut the line, yeah. So this is your final drawing. It should be, you know, finding the intersection, and of course a drawing with the relative, you know, because we want to draw relative position or distances from the click point. We start with this point and then of course we do the second point like this, okay. Make sure that you save it, yeah, and I want you to of course do another print out here. So let's just print it out and then go export and then get a PDF, yeah. And here of course you will name it, yeah. So this one is we're practicing the object snap, so we will do just object SNAPS, yeah, commands that we use to practice this. All right, and then of course you can delete this, yeah. This is a good layout. All right, so once you finish it, okay, you can save it. Yeah, if you want to save it, go ahead and save it. So the last one is going to be that, of course, in your DWG file. Yeah, if you don't want to save it, that is okay too. Yeah, you can be able to redo the whole thing. So your homework is redo the entire lab 5 to 6. And this time, do not delete, okay? So I usually show you to delete, but make sure that you don't delete, okay? So if you do 2 times, then you should be excellent in lines, circles, yeah? All the major, yeah, command that you need to control your application to draw all this stuff, yeah? So after we finish all the labs, so you will have to draw incredible amount of, yes, assignments that I'll be giving you to draw, and we have no time to go back to this basic. Yeah, your basics are very, very important. So you will start from the lab 5 all the way to the end of lab 6. And of course, I want to see all the lines because everything in the same drawing. You can name it lab 5 and 6, or you can separately name it lab 5 and then lab 6. And make sure you turn in the DWG file, yeah, to the right space. And all the print out that we just did it here, all of the print out, make sure you give it to me when you come to the next class. Okay, so you have a print and you have a DWG file on the bright space. So for the lab 6, your commands are D settings. Okay, so if you do these settings, your D settings controls will come in here, and you can change whatever you want to change. And now I'm just going to give back my my default. At least you need the endpoint in the center in the quadrant. Now I press OK for that. Okay, and then of course your auto, you need to know auto. Okay, your auto is your auto mode is right there. Yeah, you can easily access that. Yeah, by using the F8. Okay, so now I'm just gonna escape out of it, and you can also turn it on. Okay, right here for you. Yeah, see this. Auto on and auto off. Okay, see this? And of course, this is your polar tracking on and the polar tracking off, F10. Okay, it's really important. Some people have issue with the command line, I'll show you later. Another one is object snap. So SN, AP is going to give you your object snap settings. Okay, which is going to be under D settings, of course. So right now I'm just going to cancel and X out of it. And of course, you can be in a mode, okay, and you can hold down your shift and then right click is going to give you the quick access menu for the object snap. So make sure you are okay with all of that commands that we use. So this is the Anno Lab 6, okay.